Alright, what's going on everybody? Chili Games back again. Today I am featuring the Gearing. The Tier 10 USN Destroyer is now in Legends as a legendary rental. And if you saw my stream yesterday about the update, there is also the Worcester and the Conqueror that we can rent. Um, so yeah, the Gearing. I actually really like this ship a lot. There were some, in my opinion, some glaring weaknesses that I don't know if are working as intended or not. I'm not sure, but the strengths are pretty good. If you like USN destroyers, obviously it's only 1,500 icebreaker coins to unlock, and you unlock it till the February 1st, and then they will be taken away because this is essentially a test event for these new legendaries. Something that we're going to start talking about is the 16.5 kilometer torpedoes from the Gearing. Yes, 16.5. Now that's also from PC. I just for Legends, you know, they're the same map size, but teams are condensed and the spawns are pushed forward. So 16.5 kilometer torpedoes in Legends kind of feels a little iffy. But also, it doesn't really. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal if they're still there. I mean, expecting to hit something at 10 plus kilometers is already a gamble, anyways. So I don't think it's really something to complain about. I think it's pretty cool. They're pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. They're also faster. They are 66 knots without speccing into them. You can get them up to 70 and 1.4 kilometer detection. So they're pretty dang good. They're American. They are fast. They hit pretty hard. I think it's like 17.5, 17.9K. So yeah, these are like Uber Bush Fletcher torpedoes. So they're very nice to have. Now, obviously, torpedoes are not really the main arsenal of a USN destroyer. So we have basically Fletcher armaments, but one extra barrel. You see the turret configuration is different. It's not 5x1. It is. We have 3 turrets, and it's nice. It feels good. This thing feels like a. Well, the Conqueror feels something there because we just hit 4 torps. That was probably like 12 plus kilometers. So these, like I was saying, these torpedoes are just so much fun to play around with. But for guns, going back to us before we get sidetracked again, the guns feel really good. They definitely shred. The same reload as Fletcher in my build. I think they're actually the same stock. I'm running this ship in Commander, like obviously this is Halsey with Twist and Track. I'm running this exactly how I would run the Fletcher. The Gearing actually has a little bit worse detection. I'm running the same build that I would run for Fletcher, but my Fletcher gets 0.2 better concealment, so Fletcher is probably like 5.3 for me, and the Gearing is 5.5, but that's not really too big of a deal. I'm used to playing destroyers with, not uber maxed out stuff. I think, competitively, would you want it? Yes, but, you can make do. You can 100% make do with, 5.5. Just gotta be careful for if you run into a destroyer with sub 5, then it's gonna really suck. Anyway, something else to note about the Gearing is its size, and this is gonna kind of get into what I feel like is kind of iffy for it. If you notice, it is pretty chunky. It's short, it's stout, it looks like a soap bar. It's like a lightning Tashkent baby, kind of, especially with the turret setup. It feels, and that kind of makes it feel a little bit sluggish at times, but it's it's not the end of the world. In here we're just, I mean, you know me, I'm really not the torpedo kind of guy, but that's a lot of damage. These torpedoes are nuts. I mean, because I think the biggest thing is people don't really expect them to still be coming, and this could have been a very bad salvo there. It is a pretty thick target in the water though, and it has, with the armor, it does have a 21 millimeter section on the side, so you can arm DDAP. So that's another thing to talk about. So it can be a little bit squishy, and this is where I'm going to kind of get into where I think, and I have a better example later on in this gameplay, but the modules on this ship are extremely fragile. Now, I'm also using Halsey, so I don't have the option to spec for Quick Fix, which would help me out in that area. But obviously, it's USGD, like Twist and Track, like I would prefer to have that. I don't have Mordov or whatever those guys leveled up. I'm not going to level them up if I have Halsey at 14-2. You know, it's just not worth it to me. But yeah, more than any other ship, I feel like, and it really didn't come to my attention until one of my buddies, Haikal, had mentioned in chat to me. He was like, yo, like, these modules are like just like dead in the water. And I really didn't even notice it till I was like, you know, I just figured that I wasn't used to playing a USNDD because I've been playing a lot of, you know, like the Kabarovsk, which has like increased protection against that kind of stuff, so I wasn't used to it. So, and then once he said that, I was like, you know what, like if someone else is realizing that, then yeah, like 100%, I noticed the exact same thing. Like, I feel like every time you get hit in this thing, you're seeing at least a fire and 3 modules knocked out, and I get smacked by the Conqueror, who takes a pretty good shot at me anyways, but that's beside the point. So yeah, you'll see. I don't know if this is acting as intended or if the modules are just maybe a little bit, you know, don't have enough health, whatever, but it is pretty fragile. And a point that was made is obviously Mordov has that skill that decreases like your module, whatever. You can't be incapacitated by like 50, 75, 100% if it is maxed out. And that's all fine and dandy, but Mordov is also a paid commander. So if that was their intent, or if that's just like kind of, you know, in the game, you know, just because, yeah, it's kind of shit. So yeah, obviously I'm not going to level up Mordov just to get that one little perk for this ship. But yeah, I made a comment about it in the CC Discord. I was like, if anyone else is noticing this, like I feel like the modules for gearing at right now at first glance are getting quite handled pretty well. So yeah, I'll get back to that. And Kurfürst is 14 kilometers away at least. You launch those torpedoes, just send them. They have like a 2-minute reload, I think. Let's see, I can't really see the screen right now because it puts the audio, and so, you know, it makes the screen like a very small screen on Share Factory when I record, so I can't actually see it, but it's like Fletcher-esque torpedo reload. So, and obviously, like, is this, you know, top tier gameplay of gearing? Like, no, this is probably like my first like 10 games of it. I've played it a little bit, and this was kind of just a weird game in terms of contesting like caps, contesting DDs. Both of our DDs played well on the flanks and kept them busy, and I saw those 2 Yamatos in the middle, and I was like, you know what, let's see what it is. Like, I love testing out like what guns can do against certain targets, especially destroyer versus heavily armored targets like battleships, because sometimes that damage is going to have to be done. And like you saw, the fire chance is 5%, just like Fletcher, but the extra turret gives you technically a little bit better DPM and fire chance per minute, so we'll take it. Conqueror actually gets the shot off here, and I didn't think it would go over this island. I get railed there. 2 fires, like, I don't even know, like 10k. I actually hit 2 torps on that Kurfürst like a month later. I'm telling you, these torpedoes will surprise you because you will shoot them at a target, and then, like, you know, they're devastating. They hit hard. They are a lot of fun. But yeah, the Conqueror, and then I was like, you know what, I can still kind of shoot this guy, but do I want to? Because he's gonna smack me again, so I have to be careful. And that really is kind of 2 fires and the 2 modules that were broken. I think it was engine and something else. That's pretty standard for like anything above destroyer caliber HE hitting you. I mean, you get absolutely smacked around in this thing. So, capturing the base here, trying to get some cheeky shots on this Conqueror because I know he probably has an extra heal. The one thing that I will say about the guns here, and this is where I noticed it, the shell arcs feel like Fletcher's shell arcs before they got buffed. You remember that, like, you know, earlier this year, Fletcher got the, I think what they tweaked was the Krupp value, which is essentially how the air drag affects the shells in the air. So they toned that down for the Fletcher and made it a little bit easier to aim at targets at longer range. But these shells feel like Fletcher did before it got buffed in that area. Let me know if anyone else kind of feels the same. Obviously, like, we're all just now getting this ship, so a lot of things are in speculation. But shooting HE to Conqueror, he already has a middle fire, so I like to go with the AP. And again, I'm shooting this guy not because, like, you know, obviously he's a target out there, but look at the AP. The AP is doing pretty dang good. We're getting 1-2k salvo, and that is without, you know, having a fire on him, so the damage can be really easily stacked up here. And notice how he hits me with one shell, like, just kiss 2,000 health goodbye. Conqueror is a separate video that we will make and review that we will make. Conqueror is absolutely ungodly in the meta right now. It is, if you think the Khabarovsk excels in this kind of game, in this kind of meta right now, the Conqueror is actually broken. It is a lot of fun, but when everyone starts to get their hands on it, it is going to absolutely break tier 7 and legendary tier, and I'm not looking forward to it. If you didn't watch the stream yesterday, I had my thoughts about the Worcester as well. Just, you know, 10 seconds, I think the Cleveland overall is better than the Worcester, and I'll make a separate video for that. But Worcester is clunky, it is longer, the turret angles are worse, the turret setup is worse. The HE alpha damage is actually worse than the Cleveland's, and it has the same fire rate, same fire chance. So the only thing they buffed was the bow armor for the Worcester, which is 32 millimeters bow and stern, which is completely unneeded for a light cruiser, because 90% of the game, when I am behind an island and needing the DPM, I'm not using that bow armor, and I'm getting no benefit from it. So Cleveland better. This is the gearing though. This is, yeah, 265k. Obviously this was kind of a battleship farming match, but gives you a rough idea of how well the guns can do, how well the torpedoes can do, and this thing absolutely shreds DDs. So playing it just like a Fletcher, it is, I like it a lot. I think it's really fun. You should definitely try and check it out. So yeah, take it easy guys, peace.